Good evening and welcome to the playoff edition of the live stream broadcast of the Sauk Rapids-Rice boys basketball game. I'm Mark Schultz and I'll be calling the action for you tonight as the Storm welcome the Sabres from Sartell, St. Stephen. The Storm are the second seed in Section 8AAA and are coming off a very convincing 73-49 victory over the 7th seeded Little Falls Flyers. They enter tonight's second round playoff game with an overall record of 10-6. The Sabres are the number 3 seed in the section with a record that matches that of the Storm at 10-6. They earned a 9-point victory over the 6th seeded Bemidji Lumberjacks last Friday. These teams have played twice this year. The first meeting was at Sartell St. Stephen High School on February 1st, and it was the Sabres who outpaced the Storm 83-69. The second time was on March 4th, not that long ago, and the Sauk Rapids-Rice Storm pulled off late-game heroics and managed to defeat the Sabres 58-56 in a real nail-biter. So, will the Sabres play the role of the spoiler tonight, or will the Storm triumph on their home court to advance to the section championship? With the answers to these questions and more, we turn to the man calling the action alongside me tonight. From the west side of Princeton, born and raised on the playground is where he spent most of his days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Some call him the Fresh Princeton guy. Others affectionately refer to him as Uncle Phil. He really needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phil Klophockey, how are you doing tonight?
Doing really well. Excited for another really big basketball game. Really cool. You get to a section semifinal game. It's always a big one, and then when it's a big cross kind of river rivalry between two towns that are. It seems like whatever sport these two teams play each other in, or in any sport, it'll always be competitive. 2 games this year were split both ways. Golly, just lucky to get to call another game tonight in Sauk Rapids, and between the 2 and the 3 seed, 2 competitive schools, doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
It really doesn't. The rivalry matchup and 2 teams that are so similar in style, it's freaky. They both play incredibly good defense, and they both rely on the 3-point shot, so we'll see who's got the hot hand tonight and who might be able to advance to the next round, the section finals. And we'll find out who the winner of that game will be. Maybe we can find that out tonight. We got some technical support with Zach Brown with us tonight. So we'll see if we can get an update on Alexandria, who faces the 5 seed Apollo team. You never know what can happen. Smart money's probably on Alexandria. However, anything can happen. We'll be focused on the action here in the Sauk Rapids-Rice Gymnasium. And I think that when you think of Sauk Rapids basketball this year, there's kind of one guy that sticks out, especially from the offensive standpoint. He can't do it alone. It's Ethan Upsall. What do you think he has to do tonight, or what does the team have to do tonight to stay competitive and hopefully come out victorious?
For sure, and you can tell that teams are always trying to take away Ethan, and you feel like every game, at some point, it's going to rely on everybody else, but somehow Ethan always seems to pour in about 25 points. The last game, the first round of sections against Little Falls last week, the Storm really balanced their scoring. They had a lot of really good shooting from a lot of guys. Some guys who hadn't even played very much this season shot the ball well. So when Ethan scores about a third of the points or less, you can tell there's some balance and they're really hard to defend. When they're so dependent on Ethan offensively, it can be challenging. Now, Sartell's played Sauk Rapids a million times since the time these kids were 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. So Sartell knows that Ethan's kind of that guy, and Sauk Rapids knows some similar things about Sartell, really having the Gunderson kid and the Lund kid. And last time they took those kids away, and Sartell did a good job of balancing scoring. I think a ton of points were actually scored by Logan Clark. I think he had something like 15. A lot of those created by Gunderson and Lund. So there's kind of this give and take. If you try to take away their best scorer, the other guys have to find ways to step up. So I think tonight it might be the auxiliary kids. I think you can expect those lead guys to score. Who are going to be the secondary guys who find ways to score 10, 12 points and make this one a really fun, entertaining night?
We're going to leave you now for the national anthem, some words of etiquette from our players, and then the starting lineups will be back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Minnesota State High School League Section 8AAA Semifinal game featuring the Sabres of Sartell and the Sauk Rapids-Rice Storm. Fans, keep in mind that the concession stand and restroom are located outside the southeast corner of the gymnasium. The concession stand will close after 5'11" senior, number 0, Gus Gunderson. 6'2" senior, number 11, Matthew Franklin. 6'6" senior, number 12, Mrs. Long. 6'6" senior, number 24, Philip Franklin. 6'5" senior, number 55, Mrs. Long.
You can feel the tension in the gym. You can tell it's a playoff game tonight, and you can tell that these two teams both have come ready to play. I'm excited. It feels like an extension of last game. That feels like unfinished business. It was very close. The Storm ended up coming out on top, swatting away a three-point attempt that would have won the game. It was as close as it can get. Here we go. We got 18 minutes in the first half. Let's get it started with a jump ball. Carter Lesh will win the jump, and Moylanen will cross the court. A few more fans tonight, which really adds to the vibe.
Yeah, it's not quiet in here, so we feel like we're going to have to yell for you. So we'll do our darndest to make this one entertaining on the screen as well. Good start from the Storm, granted a little offense.
Eli Moylanen driving, getting it to the rim. Carter Lesh with a nice rebound. Can't get it to go, goes back up. Can't get it to fall again. It'll be out of bounds on the Sabres. And right away, action and right away some points that or some shots you wish could have dropped.
Yeah, some really good offensive rebounding already from Carter. Good to see them. Eli getting to the rim like he's done. Again, we've talked about it a little bit last game. When Eli can get to the rim and finish, it really adds a tough component to defend. So can Eli keep getting to the rim and find ways to score inside?
Carter Lesh with the ball. He'll drive to the hoop, sees an opening, finishes too high on the backboard. It looks like we've got, is that out of bounds? Give it to the Sabres, and Gus Gunderson will take the ball up for the Sabres. Pretty nifty little guard here. He's got some good handles. He's very quick. He can shoot. Kind of everything you hope for. Sartell works the ball around the perimeter, getting it down low. And a missed attempt by the Sabres. They got lucky there, the Storm did. And we're still sitting at zeros with the first minute.
Might be a little bit too amped. We've had 4 missed layups, 3 by the Storm and 1 by Sartell to start this game. We'll see if we can calm down a little bit here, but love the aggressiveness.
Moylanen going strong to the hoop. He gets fouled. That'll be the first of the game. There is some excitement early, and it's 0-0. How can that be? So Moylanen will go to the line. He'll get 2. And that foul will be on Logan Clark. Logan Clark was a name we called an awful lot last time these two teams matched up. And Eli will make good on the first.
Yeah, nice to see that 0-point start. You want to break the scoring seal, and it kind of hopefully gives everybody a deep breath.
Eli's good for 2. Now Gunderson and the Sabres will set up their attack. Mason Lund handing the ball off. Hartwig finds Gunderson, and Templin then back over to Hartwig. Gunderson with the ball now. Storm playing some pretty good defense. Gundy steps back, pump fake, loses the ball. Good defense by the Storm. 16:20 to play. Moylanen brings the ball down. He gets it in the hands of Ethan Upsall. And now to Don Mathias, who will drive the paint. Pass to the corner for Lesh. He'll dribble to the top. Looking for Alex Haran now. Moylanen facing Gus Gunderson. I like this matchup. Ooh, called for a double dribble.
Yep.
He got in low. Didn't like the idea of taking a shot. And just kind of got caught in between 2 ideas there of passing or maybe shooting. And gets called, so now the Sabres and Gunderson. Oh, there's a double dribble, and that one got missed. They get the ball down low to Clark and a steal. John Matthias has the ball and passes to Moylanen, who will take it across half court. He's at the top of the key now, over to Matthias. Matthias down low to Carter Lesh. He'll put a move on. He gets stuffed, but gets the ball back. He's in trouble here. He's lost his dribble down to Moylanen. Through the paint, wants to go back to the top and set up the offense. Good move by a veteran player there.
Yeah, Eli doesn't get sped up very easily. A very confident, tough kid. What a gutsy shot by Dom Matthias from the corner. Again, early in the season it struggled a little bit, but the last few weeks here, Dom has really heated up. When he can add that kind of corner three and kind of be the next scorer, man, they're tough to defend. So good start from the Storm defensively, switching a lot of stuff. A couple times it's given Clark some layup opportunities, but they've been able to recover. So we'll see if they keep switching.
Open man in the corner. That'll be Evan Templin. He's got the answer, so it's that kind of game, folks. So evenly matched. 5-3, and those are the first points for the Sabres. And we're 5.5 minutes in. Excuse me, we're 3.5 minutes in.
Feels like 5.5 already.
Moylanen driving, losing the ball. Tried to split two guys, lost the ball between his legs. Gus will stop, think about it. He says no, kicks over to Hartwig, who drops a three. And the lead changes to the Sabres. It's 6-5. Moylanen over to Haran. Haran calls for Matthias, then uses his dribble, gets deep into the paint, kicks it out. Upsole looking, he'll take his first shot. Doesn't fall, goes in, gets his own rebound, fights for it, loses it. Sabres come out on top there. We'll see what the Sabres do here on offense. Both these teams a threat from outside. Sartell maybe known a little bit more for an inside presence. Both Carter Lesh and others can do some work underneath the hoop. They're so similar. Excellent defense and an even better shot by Mason Lund.
Yep. It was a really tough finish there. Kind of got switched on. Good job by Mason Lund to control his body, take the contact, and still finish. Good defense by Alex, bodying him up, not fouling, but again, a really tough finish. Both teams playing pretty hard defensively right now.
Dom Matthias gets the ball poked away by Gus Gunderson. That'll be a turnover for the Storm. Nice little ball handling. Templin in the corner. He'll find Hartwig, who will not get the ball to fall. Moylanen will bring it up now. Neither team really in a groove, I would say. A couple of big shots, but only 13 points scored.
Yeah.
5-8.
It still feels like everything's a little bit rushed. Like they're not quite comfortable yet in this basketball game on both sides. Both teams are doing a pretty good job of taking away the other team's primary scores. Again, the auxiliary guys have scored all the points right now. So the focus is in the right place, but just a little bit sloppiness defensively really by the Storm for the last couple possessions.
Gus Gunderson isolated against Moylanen, throws up a three-point attempt off the rim, swatted by Lesh, handled by Matthias, and now over to Moylanen. Ethan Upsole will set up for a three. That one doesn't go. You can feel he just wants to shoot. Hartwig driving, loses the ball. It's loose. Carter Lesh will pick it up, throws it at Ethan Upsole, but right at his shins. Unable to handle it. We'll get a jump ball. Good hustle play by Carter Lesh. Two scrappy teams. It's good basketball.
50-50. Balls are going to decide this one. You know, who's going to hit the floor and be willing to sacrifice and go get the ball here? Carter Lesh getting talked to a little by the ref. Again, not unwilling to be physical. So the ref's probably telling him to maybe cool it a little bit there. It was probably pretty close to a foul, but an aggressiveness play there gets a jump ball.
So Matthias and Lesh come out. Andrew Haran and Jace Walrath come in. And Walrath right away making a difference. He and Alex Haran creating a turnover. Moylanen finds Haran. He has a nifty move, finishes strong to the hoop, can't get it to fall. His brother's in there poking around, can't control it. Comes out as Storm ball. Ethan Upsole gets a look. That was no good. And it's Sabres ball.
Oh boy.
Boy, a wide open shot by Lund. Gonna want to guard that guy. He's got some firepower.
Yeah, again, the Storm just struggling to kind of stay matched up. They're switching some things and just having a hard time communicating and staying on their guy attached. When they're on their person, they're not getting beat. They're just a lot so far of just guys kind of being open, being a little bit confused. Maybe the volume in the gym being making it a little more difficult to communicate. So we'll see if they make any adjustments here defensively from switching everything.
7 minutes in, our first chance to actually catch our breath. It's been everything we expected. Pretty good defense on both sides of the ball. An awful lot of hustle and aggressive play on both sides of the ball. Right now, the Sabres leading by 4. Eli Moylanen putting the ball in the hoop just before the timeout called by Peterson. What do you think Coach is talking to him about right now?
Yeah, again, I think it's offensively it's calming down a little bit. We missed 4 or 5 shots at the rim, a couple of wide open layups. Those go in, and this game has totally changed. When you miss layups, it turns into fast breaks for your opponent. So again, finishing layups and not giving them breakouts where it ends up being 5-on-4s, because really the 3-pointer that Mr. Lund just hit there a second ago was because we missed a layup. They get a transition 3-pointer. So finishing layups solves a lot of problems, and then defensively it's just communicating our switches. So really close. The energy is there. What's crazy is it looks like it's been a pretty physical first half so far. There's only 1 foul called so far in the game, so both teams playing pretty clean and playing hard. It'll just be who now calms down and can finish the open shots. Sartell's now hit a couple threes in a row that have been open, so Sartell currently leading kind of in the taking care of our opportunities in Sauk Rapids, maybe missing a little short. Only a 4-point game, a lot of basketball left.
So Alex and Andrew Haran, Jace Walrath, Ethan Upsall, and Eli Moylanen out for the Storm. Gus Gunderson for this. Oh, excuse me, that's not Gus. That's Hendricks. Loose ball picked up by Ethan Upsall. He's in traffic. He finds Jace Walrath, who will finish at the rim. Big points for Walrath early. It's 9-11 now.
And sure enough, right out of the timeout, they trap. They get a steal on a kind of an inadvertent pass that leads to a breakout. So Coach Peterson, again, not scared of kind of changing his defense.
Mason Lund going strong to the rim, but Andrew Haran meets him there. He swats the ball. And the rebound was picked up by Nathan Nelson, who was fouled on the floor. Moylanen's first, Storm's first.
So far been really impressed with both teams, how they're contesting at the rim. They're going up, they're not swatting and causing fouls, so they're making them finish through bodies, which is making it harder to finish at the rim.
Hartwig will come in, and Templin will get a breather.
Really subbing out one kid who shot a good 3-pointer already this game for another kid who's really a shooter. So Sartell kind of having 2 kids who are kind of their creators, a couple bigs, and a couple of kids who can kind of shoot that rotate in and out.
Oh, tried to call a timeout, but he was too late. Got called for 5 seconds.
Yep.
And that was Hendricks who came in to give Gus Gunderson a breather. Although Gus is
still in.
Looks like he would have given Logan Clark possibly a breather. Logan's on the bench. So, turns in the Storm's favor. Moylanen will drive. He loses his dribble. He looks. He finds Andrew Haran. Andrew will dribble through pressure. Finds Jace Walrath, who finishes at the rim. Jace has got 4 big points. That might be his average. That might be higher than his average. But we'll take him. Right place at the right time.
Again, just kind of hanging around the rim. When guys can penetrate and draw doubles, he just finds ways. And what's impressive is Jace's finishing. Not super simple layups, and making them look simple.
That's Nelson with the unorthodox hook shot attempt. It doesn't work. Storm recover. We got a tie ball game here. 11-11. Ethan Upsall hands over to Andrew Haran. Gets some penetration, kicks back to Ethan. Ethan strokes it from a long ways away. Doesn't go down, takes another shot. That one, I believe, got tipped.
Yep.
And Gunderson, the aggressor underneath the hoop.
Good defense.
Comes away with the ball. Very good defense. Good aggressive basketball by both teams. I am just impressed. Nifty little move by Nelson. Giving the Sabres the 2-point lead. Got to find a way to get Ethan some shots that aren't so contested, that don't have to be forced.
Yep.
Andrew Haran losing the ball on the way through the paint. gets kicked by a Saber. It'll be Storm ball underneath the rim. Upsell gets his first break of the evening, and Don Mathias will come in. He'll be the one inbounding the ball for the Storm.
I think you're spot on with trying to find a way to get Ethan a shot that might be closer to the rim. His shots have all been pretty contested and kind of fading away from the basket. He hasn't had the looks that he normally gets, but a lot of the time Sartell's putting a smaller defender on him, so maybe the idea is to get him inside and try to get him a layup to get him going offensively.
Moylan loses the ball there, but he'll regain control, get deep into the paint.
Yep, nice pass.
Find Alex Harn in the corner, who takes a shot, misses. Andrew with the rebound. Don Mathias with a three-point attempt, and it's good, baby, it's good. It's 14-13, and the Storm regain the lead.
The offensive rebounding for Sauk Rapids Rice is turning into a big story. A lot of opportunities, probably not shooting a great percentage, but earning a lot of opportunities on the offensive boards.
The Gunderson-Moylan in matchup again. Don Mathias is going to get called for a foul there. Again, only the third foul and some really aggressive play. Storm will now sub in Mason Rudolph for Andrew Harn and Carter Lesh for Alex Harn. The Sabres will in ball. It's Mason Lund. Back to Hartwig. Gus Gunderson steps back, kicks it out to Hartwig. Hartwig will drive into the paint, finds Mason Lund. Carter Lesh gets called for a foul. So 10 minutes into the game, and it feels like we're starting to catch a little bit of a tempo, and then it's fast-paced. It's fast-paced. Both teams are using their bench. They've had to. And Gunderson now fighting Hartwig. Hartwig talks to Lund. He wants a screen set and a matchup change. It's a tough matchup for Mason Rudolph, but good D. Boy, a great little move in the corner. That was Evan Templin. That's tough when you're trying to get out to the ball and they catch your momentum against you.
And he's been playing pretty well offensively. Hitting a three-pointer early, though, forces Eli to contest that one probably more than he wanted to. It gives him the blow-by.
Moylan and missing at the rim, comes down with his own rebound. Just stays under there strong. Shoots again, but in a group of three. You got three guys on you. A couple guys are open. It's hard to see that, though. See if the Storm can capitalize. Play some defense here. A big arcing shot that'll get stuck.
The Storm's still switching a lot. Sartell at times trying to take advantage of some mismatch, which is tough about Lund is he's bigger than your littles that get switched on, but he's faster than some of your bigs that he gets switched on. So Sartell kind of creating some mismatches. Sauk Rapids so far been able to handle it. They sub in Mr. Kath here, who had a couple of really big threes in the first round game. Kind of doesn't get a ton of minutes, but darn, he can shoot. So it'll be interesting here if Sartell respects that, or if we find out really quickly that they're going to leave him open to give him a chance, and they overplay him right away.
Oh, Mason Rudolph gets called with a travel and gets some trash talking to go with it. Hartwig giving him an earful. I gotta wonder if maybe Kath comes in and plays a little bit of Ethan's role. If they're gonna overguard Ethan, can you free up another three-point shooter? Hartwig taking a looping shot over a defender. Ball is loose. Sartell comes down with it. That's Clark. He's pesky inside. Shot that goes off the backboard and off the rim and into the hands of Ethan Upsall. So the Storm now on the attack. Mason Rudolph sets a little screen. Nothing there. Kath in the corner. Kath will drive to the paint, find Upsall, who drives to the paint, jumps. It's contested. Just cannot get it to fall. But he gets his own rebound. Mason Rudolph over to Dom Mathias. Dom will hand off to Ethan Upsall, loses the ball, but he's all right. He'll regain control. Drive in, find Mason. Mason to Dom. And now Upsall says, I'll take this. Find a Carter Lesh in the corner, who drives in hard. He gets fouled. Excellent job. Something needed to happen for the Storm. They weren't getting an open look. Carter Lesh comes in aggressively into the paint, attacks, and gets fouled.
It was good to see there the Storm kind of hold the ball for about a minute, run some offense, force Sartell to stay in a stance for a little bit. This game has felt like a game that's got a shot clock on it. It doesn't have to feel that way all the time. So sometimes when you don't get the shot, don't feel like you have to rush it. They can pass through. Ethan doesn't have to shoot the first time he gets it. If they can run offense and he can get it his third or his fourth time, you just got to get touches. Sometimes when it feels like every time you're not getting it very often, you got to launch it the second you do. Sometimes you just want to keep grinding and see if you can get 2 or 3 touches in a possession.
Rudolph out for the Storm and Alex Harn back in. It's Andrew Kath, Ethan Upsall, Carter Lesh, Don Mathias, and Alex Harn. Lesh is good for 2. He banked one in, but it looks the same in the paper tomorrow, and it counts the same on the scoreboard.
Not too often you see the first one banked and the second one swished.
Well, the crowd plays a role. Sartell's crowd doing a nice job. Sauk Rapids crowd is here and loud. Changing up the personnel for Sartell. I didn't see Blake Haas sneak in, which is crazy because he's a behemoth. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
That'll be a presence underneath. A role player for the Storm, much like Jace Walrath, role player for the Sabres, much like Jace Walrath. Come in, probably presence underneath the hoop, play some defense. Gus Gunderson pump faking, nothing happening. Good defense by Mathias. Ball is into the big guy, kicked out to Heinrich. Gunderson says, let's take a second, reset. Heinrich cross court to Gunderson has the open shot off the front of the rim, not even really that close.
Yep.
He's not shooting that great tonight. Ethan's not shooting that great tonight. First guy to catch on might be the difference in this game.
Yeah, you can feel both of those players trying to kind of get themselves going. Again, that story about auxiliary players might have to be the guy because both teams are really focused on those 2 kiddos.
Cat now over to Upsall. Upsall into Lesh. Upsall now driving into the paint. I love it. Puts it up and puts it in. There we go. Sometimes that's all a guy needs is for one to fall and say, all right, got my confidence back.
Yep, and he gets hot very, very quickly. You see one go in, and it might be 3 or 4 here within the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Boy, when Haas sets a screen, everyone knows it, especially the guy he's
getting screened.
A big shot from outside off the back of the rim, hits the structure above, and that'll be Storm ball.
Yeah, Storm got a little bit lucky there. Hartwig's been a pretty good shooter all season and kind of punished the Storm the last time we saw them play. They rotated really well, and Sartell made a nice little pass. They drew a double and kicked it to the perimeter for kind of an open shot. Don't want to give them too many of those.
Both teams have gone 4 deep on their bench, and with this pace, it's no surprise. Upsall over to Moylanen. Kind of discussing what the plan is. Back to Upsall into Lesh. Ball back to Upsall isn't there. Mathias will dribble around, finds Upsall. Back to the free throw line. Doesn't get it to fall, but Moylanen kicks it out to Mathias off the back of the rim. And Alex with probably an unneeded foul at that point. Just out of position, but it's playing aggressive, and that'll happen. 4 on the Storm now. His first. We've got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play. It's 18-15 Storm. It doesn't feel like either team has an advantage right now, evenly matched. I like the athleticism in that matchup right there with London and Alex Harn.
And another pretty good contest on Mason. And he finds a way to kind of just elevate, play strong through contact, and finish.
All right, so Don Mathias with the ball. He gets to the elbow, kicks out to Carter Lesh. Drives deep, throws the ball away. He's trying to find Alex Harn in the corner. Just kind of ran out of real estate. Jason Walrath will come in, give Carter Lesh a break. 3 minutes to play. We've got a 1-point ball game. And not a high-scoring matchup by any means. Ball into Mason Lund. Kick it outside. It's back in, and a big steal by Don Mathias, who throws it back off Lund. And Moylanen comes down with it. Picks up his dribble, finds Jace Walrath, back to Moylanen. Moylanen will go nowhere. Little floater doesn't go. Walrath trying to find that ball in the air. Looks like it'll still be Storm ball. So just need to.
Yeah, both teams right now, it feels like if you're a fan for either team right now, it's just can one team just find a little bit of a groove, get it cool down. There's a lot of kind of missed opportunities that seem like they're not super difficult right now. Again, I think they're just, shoot, if I'm a player for the first time in a while, there's some energy in this gym, and it's hard. You can tell the guys are playing really fast and maybe not making the smoothest of decisions.
Alex Harn sets up for an open three off the back of the rim, just not falling the way the Storm had hoped, not falling the way it did in the matchup last week against Little Falls, but great defense will do that to a team. Sartell getting the ball down low, trying to get the ball down low to Mason Lund. Alex Harn playing some good defense there, swats the ball out. 2 minutes to play. And it'll be tossed into Lund. The big guy, aptly named Haas, kicks it out to Gus Gunderson, who hits a big shot. That's what he does. He's been playing the game a long time. It was a nice shot. It falls. It's a 2-point lead for the Sabres. Moylanen kicking the ball outside to Matthias, who drives, leaves Moylanen open for a 3-point attempt. It's up and it's good. The answer, what a great shot and a big shot by Moylanen.
Really a gutsy shot. You know, Eli's had maybe 4 or 5 at the rim and they haven't gone in. To say, I'm just going to space out and shoot a 3-pointer is a really big response to a 3 by Sartell.
Templin aggressively going to the hoop. He misses. Upsell comes down with the rebound. Moylanen takes it across half court, finds Upsell, who will drive, spin, puts the ball up off the glass, and that's why he'll be playing next year, folks. He is a next level player. That was a next level shot.
It has not been easy for him. Sartell's making it tough. That was a crazy finish. Him and Mason Lund tonight have just been finding kind of some really difficult baskets. And that was a really tough finish. Again, walled up by Jace Walrath. Both teams just doing an awesome job of walling up, forcing people to finish through them. We've seen a couple of tough finishes here. The last couple of minutes now, it looks like people are starting to get in a little groove. You can see them more confident, spacing and playing with a little bit less pace, actually.
There's just over 30 seconds left on the clock. The Storm are going to try to settle for one last shot. Patience is good, but when a guy creeps on you like that, you've got to be ready. Moylanen now, re-break half court. Kicks over to Jace Walrath, who will drive on the big guy. Gonna get called for a charge. I don't like the call. It would have been out of bounds anyway.
I think just out of bounds is the call. I don't think they made any call there.
That's good, because that would have been a bad call. So they did it right. Well, now 14 and a half seconds for the Sabres to try to put the ball in the bucket one last time before half.
I know they were talking about possibly giving a foul here. I don't know if you want to give one. Eli's already got one. I don't want to get him to 2 and risk a third early in the second half. I'm hoping the Storm here don't give a foul.
Gunderson driving, takes a jumper, has it fall, and that'll be how the first half ends. It's 24-23 Sabres. Holy buckets. What a game.
I don't know if I or anybody in here expected this one to be any different than that exact first half was. I mean, a really good battle. Teams that are pretty evenly matched. It's crazy kind of to watch this. You kind of see a lot of similarities between these two teams with Ethan and Mason Lund. Kind of both, I think they have got 4, maybe 5 points, somewhere in there, and both have really had to earn them through a lot of good defense. A couple of players hitting some threes that, you know, again, aren't maybe the featured players, but guys that they know can hit shots. And then it really has just come down to the advantage the Storm have had has been rebounding. The advantage that Sartell's had is they've been finishing a little bit better. So this game is going to come down to what it always comes down to between these two schools. It's going to come down to probably the last 3 or 4 minutes. What'll be interesting to see is, can one of these teams really handle the first 4 minutes of the second half and maybe give themselves a little cushion. So, man, I just don't expect this one not to be a whoever's got the ball last has got a chance to win it. I'd be really shocked if it ends up that way. For a competitive first half, for the Fowls to be 5-2 or 5-3, teams playing really hard and sound defensively. My concerns as a Sauk Rapids fan is I think they're scrambling a lot, but getting beat a little bit in their one-on-one opportunities, which is forcing them to scramble a little bit too much. And Sartell's had some opportunities that they haven't converted on. And then offensively, they got to find ways, Sauk Rapids does, that is, to finish at the rim. We're missing layups. If we can get those to go in, this game's a whole different story. So it'll come down to, can the Storm finish at the rim, and can they stop penetration? And for Sartell, who you just, again, it's spooky that Mr. Gunderson hits a 3 and then hits a fadeaway there at the end, because when he's hot and Lund are getting going, they're pretty difficult to defend. So I think Sartell's got to feel pretty strong or good about how that half ended, and Sauk Rapids should feel pretty good about how they played. And again, if they can just finish some small things, they should feel good. So 2 good teams, a 2 and a 3 seed, both playing pretty good basketball in Central Minnesota.
I think another area for Storm fans that feel optimistic is that even though the Storm was right out in the second half, this game ends. They'll light up in the second half. I'm just gonna go on a limb. I'd be ruined my career. That is being really cliche, but I'd be remiss to not bring up the fact that we always hope this year we play better in the second half, and that might be something on the
Yep, and we'll see which team's conditioning matters a little bit here too. At that pace, can these teams maintain that? You know, we've seen a lot of games where the first half, even the Little Falls game, and a couple of games before that, we saw the scores be pretty low scoring in the first half, and then the second half we kind of see an explosion. A lot of that probably because defensively they get a little bit more tired. I'd be surprised if it's in the 40s like we're on pace for. I'm sure it's to be a mid-60s game for whoever finds a way to win this game.
All right, there's 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in halftime here. We're going to take a break, let that clock expire, and then we'll meet back up with you for the second half action of the Sauk Rapids Rice. All right, Mark Schultz here and Phil Klopp hockey next to me. We're back for second half action. It's 24-23. The hometown team is down, but only by 1. It'll be an interesting second half, and it's bound to go as fast as the first, so buckle up for the action. All right, let's spend some time with the coach here. This is the coach's corner. We got the brilliant basketball mind of Phil Klopp hockey. If you're Sartell's head coach, what are you saying to your team in the locker room?
If I'm Sartell's coach, I feel really, really good about how hard we've made it for Ethan to score. I feel really good about how we've chased him kind of around the floor and forced him to shoot a lot of fades, and even the baskets he's made have been challenging. They've had my other thing would just be, it's rebounding now, and when you have to hound one kid around the court, when you've got to chase a kid like Ethan around the court and everybody's working, it's again, you're kind of thinner on the offensive or defensive rebounds. So they're going to have to find a way again, probably to decide we're going to forfeit some defensive rebounding to not let Ethan get on fire is kind of their mentality. So again, I don't know if I'd change a whole lot. I think they've been doing some really, really good things. They got to hope that Sauk Rapids doesn't find ways to finish, that Eli doesn't kind of get warm inside, and the bigs don't find ways to score off of offensive rebounds, because Sauk Rapids is rebounding, but not really scoring off of those rebounds right now. So Sartell, again, should feel good. Offensively, they've had some of those guys that aren't their key players hit some shots, and Gunderson and Lund got a little bit warm there at the second half of the first half. So if I'm Sartell, I feel pretty good. And if I'm Sauk Rapids, I feel similarly. I think we played really, really hard. We had some really good opportunities. We got to find ways to score again at the rim. Ethan is going to get hounded, but because he's getting hounded, you're going to have space for other guys to get to the rim. So again, I'm buckled up. Holy buckets, it's funny how anxious I get here watching. I'm sure I'd feel better, but what a cool opportunity for high school kids here in the border battle in the section semifinals.
A quick shout out to all the businesses in town here in Sauk Rapids that are playing the live stream feed, and all the loyal fans who either couldn't make it for one reason or another. Obviously, it's limited gym space and there's travel time for grandparents. We're happy to have you here with us. The action starts now. Gunderson crosses half court, and here we go. Mason Lund with the ball, back to Gunderson. Gunderson, Moylan, to get a switch there. Good help by Carter Lesh, that presence inside. Keeps the mismatch from becoming a problem. Nifty little dribbling under the hoop. And it was Logan Clark who finishes. That's his first points of the game. All right, so now it's the Storm's turn. Like you mentioned, Phil, these first 3-4 minutes are very important. Also going strong to the rim. Somebody gets a hand on it, and he can't get it to fall. So back to Sartell on offense. Lund to Hartwig, back to Lund. Lund goes in. What do we have for a call here? Looks like a jump ball.
Yep.
Jump ball, and it'll go to the Storm. Excellent.
Yeah, just like Dom has done in football for us, he just got kind of the savvy for the ball. He just kind of knows where to be. He has done that now 2 or 3 times in this game where he's kind of snuck up on a guy who didn't expect him, and he gets both hands on the ball and draws earlier a steal and this time a tie-up.
All right, Alex Harn with the ball now. Over to John Mathias, who kicks it out to Moylanen. Gets away with a little bit of extra action there. Moylanen will move the ball back to the top. Dribbles past Gus Gunderson, kicks out to Lesh, and now Moylanen again. Try to go baseline, good defense. Gets in the middle, dishes to Alex Harn for a bucket. A bucket they earned too.
Yep, and finally we finish at the rim on a nice little pass. It's going to be interesting to see now, when do they start using Ethan more as a decoy? Again, he's just pulling people with him everywhere, so he's always setting ball screens, and it's just drawing all the attention to the ball handler. It'll be interesting if they can find a way just to move Ethan off the ball and use him as a decoy.
Mason Lund with a failed attempt at a three-pointer. Storm aren't transitioning with any speed. Rather get down, set up the offense at this point.
Yeah, a little surprised Ethan there didn't just take that in transition and try to go. It's probably the easiest look he's had all game.
So some action at top. Upsell with the ball now, kicks out to Don Mathias, who shoots from 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound by Sartell, and Gunderson will bring the ball up. Lund setting his screen, looking for a switch, didn't get it. A big 3 attempt and missed by Gunderson. Storm will get the ball back. Moylanen has the ball. Lesh sets a lazy screen. Kick out to Haran and over to Matthias. Pretty good defense. Oh, Eli picks up his dribble.
Good.
Gets it inside to Alex, who gets fouled. Alex being a difference maker here in the first couple minutes of the second half.
And again, just a little bit better spacing. They kind of got everybody on one side of the court, got Alex the ball at 10 feet, and let him take one dribble and get to the rim, draws a foul. Let's see if he can knock down a couple of free throws here and give the Storm the lead again. For my 8th graders watching, they just ran our base set Spurs there offensively. I don't teach nothing. I'm trying to help you guys be ready for varsity basketball in a couple of years.
Haran is good for 2. That's a big foul then. Doubles his point total for the evening to 4. And we've got a lead for the Storm, 27-26. It's just been back and forth. Again, the matchup of Lund and Haran, Gunderson and Moylanen. Good matchups. So Upsall and Templin, man-to-man defense. A shot attempt, no good, comes flying in, out of control. Landing on the top of Dom Matthias, but...
See what they call this foul on. 23 pushing Lund, so Alex pushing Lund a little bit there over Dom, who's trying to box out.
Sartell throwing the ball into Lund. Somehow comes down with it in traffic, off the glass and in, a good bucket. He's got a steady shooting hand. It's his 9th point on the night.
And 6 of his 9 points have been on that exact kind of a look, going into a wall up, being physical with his body, going into the body, and then bouncing off for some space.
Alex Haran with the ball for the Storm now, hands off to Moylanen, who will dribble around Mason Lund. Finds Matthias, reverses court, finds Moylanen in the corner, dribble a little deeper and then bounce back out. He's gonna drive baseline, loses the ball, gets it back, finds Alex Haran all alone in the corner, who throws up a 3 and it's good. That's a huge shot. They needed something to go right. Feeling like momentum was maybe starting to change, but no. Alex Haran comes up huge in the corner.
That was a really confident looking stroke by Alex there in the corner. A nice little skip pass from the baseline and a big answer from 3.
Swat by Carter Lesh off the rebound attempt. Mason Lund loses the ball, goes off of Alex Haran. It'll be Sartell's ball. 30-28, a 2-point ball game. Nobody's been able to go on any type of a run. It's just been back and forth and highly contested and tight all game. Dom Matthias coming through. He's got such a knack for the ball. It's just, some guys are gamers and Dom is an absolute playmaker. That one goes out of bounds, but
For those people sitting at home, one of the interesting things that I'm kind of watching here as a spectator is the gym is loud and we've got masks on, so you can see Sartell. It's almost like an offensive coordinator. They have a coach who's writing down their offensive sets so he can show it to them on a board because it's so hard to communicate. So again, early in the first half, the Storm were switching everything defensively, so you can kind of understand it's probably really difficult to not just communicate but to hear each other as you're yelling out switches. So again, we'll see how that impacts this game if you can continue to switch or if that becomes an issue for teams' communication here as this game continues to get loud. The student sections, man, I forgot how loud student sections, how much fun high school basketball can be. And I forgot how hard John Rasmussen has to work to keep the student sections from yelling at each other.
Yeah, Raz and Wagner over there running the show, keeping it clean. So we're in a timeout here, breaking the action. Storm with a 2-point lead. No lead has felt good for either club tonight. It's just been a couple points, one side or the other. Both teams have gone to their bench. They've gone 4 deep in their bench in the first half. They've been a little more reluctant to go to their bench here at the start. We've only had a few minutes of play. But the Storm, what I like about the Storm is Dom with 6, Eli with 7. You've got Alex Haran with 7, Carter Lesh with 2, and Jace Walrath with 4. So it's spread out. The scoring is happening. A big shot from the corner, and then a nasty rebound attempt taken away from Upsall by Templin, but he loses the ball, and Moylanen comes down with it. Everybody's excited here in the gym. Every play counts. You can feel that this is definitely playoff basketball. Everything seems to just hang a little heavier. Don Mathias pulls up for a jumper, drops it, a big shot. And the Storm now bringing their lead to 4, and Dom with 8 on the evening.
The kid is playing outstanding offensively and defensively. Has a couple of steals, is getting some rebounds in loose situations. Don Mathias right now probably for the Storm player of the game at this point.
The crowd is alive here tonight. The student section can tell. If we can get a stop here, it would be huge. A shot attempt off the back of the rim. Moylanen will push across half court. Slow down a little bit, let his guys catch up. Over to Upsall, who takes a stroke from downtown off the back of the rim. And that'll be rebounded by Sartell.
Really his first comfortable three, his first one he got to get into without somebody closing into his feet.
Mason Lund breaks free of Don Mathias, puts up a little right-handed jumper. Hits the rim and goes in. Now Sartell possibly applying a little more defensive pressure. A trap right across half. Foul will be called as Eli loses his feet.
Yeah, tough one. You see Eli turn back into that man, and you kind of question why, and he gets a little bit bailed out, drives through the kid's leg, and forces the blocking call. Still just 2 fouls for Sartell and 1 for Sauk Rapids.
We've got just under 12 minutes to play. 32-30 Sauk Rapids. Alex Harn with the ball in his hands right now, looking for a teammate to break free. It's Carter Lesh. Carter will use his dribble, hand off to Ethan Upsall, reverses court, drives in into a lot of traffic, off the rim, gets his own rebound. Lesh kicks out to Mathias, who kicks out to Moylanen, drives hard and creates a foul. This is really seemingly like methodic basketball by the Storm. They're being really patient. Sometimes when the offensive play gets elongated, you can find yourself making a mistake, but they're not right now. They're getting fouled. Sartell's making the mistakes. This is a little change of pace. It's working right now.
Oh, and they're going to give him 2 shots here. Sartell fans would disagree, and I don't necessarily disagree with them either. Kind of a tough one there for this to be given 2 shots. We'll see if Eli can make it count.
First one's good for Moylanen, that gives him 8 on the night. The guards together, Moylanen and Mathias, 16 points. And another shot attempt coming. Boy, getting those guys into double digits. And Alex Harn kind of knocking on the door too. That's taking a lot of pressure off of Ethan Upsall. It's also spoiling the game plan of Sartell, and Sauk Rapids is hanging in. Eli shooting well tonight.
Yeah, and again, just a lot of guts we're seeing. Some big-time shots and some pressure situations. Making free throws without getting too many opportunities is a big deal.
A little bit of a mismatch inside. Mathias on the quite a bit taller Nelson. We've got a foul on the floor. That'll be on Mathias. Everybody's rowdy here tonight, and it's good. It adds to the atmosphere. Oh, that was not exactly sure what the breakdown was, but there was a breakdown, and Mason Lund gets another easy bucket for 13 points on the night. Storm are going to have to answer here. Both the Harn brothers are in as Carter Lesh takes a break. Ethan fouled on the shot, not called. Ends up well short of the hoop. You call an air ball. It's hard to shoot and hit the rim when you get bumped like that. Hartwig goes around, Upsall, and into Harn, who gets called for the foul there. Just didn't get set quite quick enough. It's good help defense there, but going to get called. That's 3 on Harn. Probably earned himself a break. My guess is Jace Walrath will come in after the first shot, just to give Alex a little bit of a breather here. 10:42 left to play. First shot for Hartwig off the front of the rim, but does find its way in. He's got 4 points on the night. And yes, Alex Harn to the bench. Jace Walrath in. Second attempt off the front of the rim, doesn't go in. And Walrath gets another rebound. Mason Rudolph crosses half court. Drives into the paint, backs up. Wants to see something a little bit different. Kicks out to Don Mathias for the open three. It bounces around and falls. Don Mathias is got 11 on the night. He's shooting so well. He's playing really big and filling some of the offensive void that we have because all of the city of Sartell is guarding Ethan Upsall when he's in the game. Don Mathias finds Eli, an excellent pass, transition bucket, that's easy points. Both the guards at 11. Gus Gunderson has a carry, and Eli is fired up. That's going to cause Sartell's head coach to take a timeout and try to stop. This is the first real momentum that you felt in the game with the Storm up 39-33.
And it felt like just a second ago that it just flipped. It felt like Sartell had just grabbed control of this game when they brought it back to a 33-34 game, down by 1. Big three-pointer by Dom again. What the kid is playing incredibly well. Surprisingly, has 11. It feels like he's got 20 because all those baskets have been so clutch. And then their first breakout of the game, and really when the Storm took over the first time, or the last time that they played, the Storm took over when they started to play in transition. They started to get some steals and some leak outs, so maybe their intensity defensively is wearing a little bit here on Sartell, cranking up the pace. It's oftentimes been in favor of Sauk Rapids Rice this season.
Well, this is an interesting substitution here. Mason Rudolph will come in for Ethan. It's probably be Ethan's one and only chance to catch his breath and then get back in this ball game. Now, if the Storm can keep this lead or any lead at all, well, Upsall's off the floor. They can find some offense. They're going to have 3 guards out there. There's going to be some mismatches. They can come out of this, giving Ethan a break, and have this thing close. We're going to be in a really good spot in the home stretch. Yeah,
and what's crazy again is they haven't, as much as Ethan hasn't been scoring the basketball, it's hard to value or devalue how much he's able just to create space for others because he draws so much attention. So even if he's not scoring, he impacts the game because of how the other team has to defend him. So we'll see here now with him out of the game how Sartell maybe changes that or how that affects how the Sauk Rapids Rice Storm have to attack the rim now.
Be nice to see Andrew Horan come up with a big bucket here. He's got some offensive potential. Ball is in his hands now. Over to Don Mathias in the corner, kicking out to Eli. Eli's going to force a little pressure. Andrew's going to drive the lane, pumps, shoots off the back of the rim, gets his own rebound.
Don't foul there.
Looks like that foul will be called at Walrath. It's tough.
Yeah, it sounded like Andrew heard you. He kind of gets to the rim, gets kind of a mid-range little floater up, and it just doesn't fall. We get a second opportunity again. The Storm had a lot of offensive rebounds. Can they find a way to get an offensive rebound and put it back in?
So we've got a little behind-the-scenes story. Mason Rudolph is an absolute pest.
Yeah.
He plays defense. He's an animal. He's tenacious, and he'll play hard all night long. He is in the head of number 3 Henricks right now, and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Sometimes that can backfire.
Yep.
But right now, he's as confident as he can be now that he got that call.
Yep. You love having Mason on your team, and you hate having to play against Mason, which is usually a good thing if he's on your team.
Don Mathias sets up for another 3, and he makes it rain from three-point land. It's 42-33. Templin kicks out to Mason Lund, who's got an open shot, but a foul called on Templin. Got in the way illegally of Eli Moylanen.
I think one of the important things here, though, is we've seen this now. There's been a couple of times the Storm have scored and haven't matched up super quick. Sartell's trying to play in a little bit in transition. Now they had a carry the first time, and then they have a turnover again here, but they're starting to leak out and play faster. Sauk Rapids not always in a great spot, but finding a way to kind of scramble. We'll see if they can get more set or if Sartell's going to take advantage of that. Sartell back into this 1-2-2 kind of half-court trapping defense.
Moylanen finds Mathias, who finds Walrath, and a goaltending is called. Do you like that call?
It's the right call. I thought it right away. It felt like it was off the backboard at below the rim, and then he blocked it above the rim.
The folks from the other side of the river not loving it. Folks on our side of the river like the call.
Yeah.
So we'll accept it. Getting the ball down low, a tenacious defense there, but too much by Moylanen, and That's going to be his third. He's got to be careful. There's still 8.5 minutes to play. Oh, it's his second. Okay. Oh, good deal. Good deal. Only Eli's second. Ball gets thrown into Mason Lund. Andrew Harn providing some defense. In the corner now to Hartwig. Kicks it out. Templin shoots a three off the front of the rim. Rudolph brings it down. Kicks it over to Moylanen. Storm are back on the offensive front.
Yep.
Setting up the offensive.
Storm on a 10-0 run offensively here. You kind of want to, if they can find a way to make this 12 here, you can see them get a little more organized offensively. Maybe a post up for Andrew.
God, I saw that too.
Surprised they went away from it.
Whew. There's some opportunities out there. Storm are creating.
Trying to grind some offense here again. A lot of screen and rolls back and forth.
Nice.
Just want them to be patient. Really good possession so far.
Ah! Oh, and then they lose it. So the Storm will come out with the ball. And screaming for a timeout is Coach Peterson. He finally gets it. He saw his guys in trouble. Unfortunately, they were going to get out of that one, it looks like. But
yeah.
Boy, Gus Gunderson is cut right out of the mold of Don Mathias and Eli Moylanen. He's just kind of that same athletic, nose for the ball. What a great matchup between the guards tonight. The Storm guards with 25 points on the evening. That is a big, big part of what's going on here.
It's been huge. Those kids have been playing outstanding. Two kids that we've said all season long are really just gutty kids, right? Find a way to play so much bigger. I mean, if you're 5'7", 5'8", for you to be playing and contributing at the level that they do on a regular basis at this level of high school basketball is a huge deal. So some big shots by Dom. Eli really organizing and running the offense and finding a way now. He's got 11. You got to believe, though, Eli's going to have to, by the end of this game, find a way to get back to the rim and create. Huge play. I think, honestly, one of the biggest plays there. They ran a good possession. Right after I said a good, nice possession, Gus Gunderson finds a way to get a poke away. And then Dom and Eli find a way to kind of go get it handled. Coach Peterson decides, let's slow down again, guys. That was a good possession. We can't afford a turnover here. Again, on a 10-0 run, can they make it 12-0 or 13-0 is a big deal.
Go ahead.
The game is going to come down to, for Sauk Rapids Rice, you're up 11. There's a lot of time left, though. Valuing the basketball. Turnovers are absolute killers when you've got the lead. So can you value the basketball and end every possession with an opportunity to score?
Coach Peterson opting to keep Upsall on the bench here. Moylanen with a nifty move, going baseline, kicks it out all the way around to Rudolph, who head fakes, drives in, finds Andrew Haran. Fast-moving offense. It's a pretty good defense. Oh, a nice little play there between Andrew Haran and Moylanen. Moylanen with the ball now. Gets it down low to Haran. He's got a good matchup on Gus Gunderson. Goes up, takes the shot, hits the rim, doesn't go in. Storm cannot come down with it. Ball batted around a little bit.
Exactly the shot the Storm want there, though. Work good offense, get a matchup at about 5 feet on the pass.
So we got a foul on the pass. My spidey sense is going off, and I want Ethan Upsall back in the game.
Thing is, you want him to be able to finish, so there's still 7 minutes. There's a lot of basketball. If you can find a way to conserve him until 5 or even 4 minutes, the longer he can sit and the fresher he can be at the end is a good thing. So, and the Storm have been playing well. They haven't had to force the ball into Ethan. They've been kind of balancing it out and playing pretty solid defense.
Boy, Templin with maybe the move of the night. That was a heck of a spin move. And then able to finish. Sartell setting up a trap. Eli finding Andrew down low. Out to Mathias, back to Eli. Here we go, 6:25. It's a 9-point lead for the Storm. Moylanen will drive the paint. Look.
That's the one.
The head fake look outside, and Jace Walrath finishing at the rim. He's got 8 on the night.
Yep. You gotta hope Eli can finish that one, though. I'm sitting here just saying, what an amazing move, a left-handed finish. Great job by Jace to clean it up. He's done a great job. Jace, I think, is probably 3 for 3 at the rim tonight, which is a huge deal. I think those are really unnoticed 6 points that he's scored at the rim tonight.
Sartell setting up the offense. Hartwig will get the open 3. He's unable to make it fall, and Andrew Haran comes down with a great rebound. Mason Rudolph will push the pace. Nope, he'll slow down, kick it back to the captain, Eli Moylanen. He'll bring it across half court. The Storm will try to increase the lead from 11 to who knows what. Moylan in, over to Walrath. Walrath uses a dribble into Matthias. Matthias back up to the top, gets it swatted. A nice defensive play, and then a nice defensive play back at you. A missed shot, and the Storm have the ball again. Whew. Moylan doing things I never could do. Finds Walrath, kicks it out to Haran. At this point in the game, I don't mind Jace taking that inside there when he gets that deep.
A lot of really kind of the passes by the Storm right now are getting a little bit lazy. They're getting kind of comfortable. Need this bucket.
Oh boy, almost felt a little bit of contact, but great job finishing Andrew Haran. He's on the board tonight, his first bucket of the evening in some really good minutes. Now Gunderson on Moylan in, spins to the inside, pretty nice move off the glass and in. He's a competitor. What a ball game here. We've got the Storm on top with 4 minutes and 38 seconds. An 11-point lead. I don't feel comfortable with it at all.
No, you never feel comfortable with any of these basketball games. My concern as a Storm fan right now is the last maybe 2 possessions, there's been a lot of opportunities where Sartell's in the passing lanes and Sauk Rapids isn't throwing great strong passes or meeting their passes. So sometimes you get a little bit patient on offense, which can be a good thing, right, to kind of grind some clock, but you become passive offensively at the same time, and all of a sudden the pressure gets placed on you. So finding that balance of being aggressive when you get opportunities, and maybe taking some backdoor cuts right now, because Sartell is way playing online and up the line, trying to get some breakaways here. So scoring and giving up buckets on the other end is not what you want to do, but the big scary thing now is, do you give them just the easy breakaway layup that creates pressure and also allows Sartell to get into a press?
So no action will be slowing down this evening. Do we have an update at all on the other game? Not yet? Okay.
They're just getting underway. It looks like Alex is up by 5-3. They started, I believe, at 8 tonight, so that game just got started.
Okay, so you're going to want to check the internet for that score. We'll be done before they're done. Alexandria and Apollo, of course, the winner of that game would face the winner of this game, and depending on who wins, it could be all over the state. From Alexandria to Sauk Rapids, Sartell, or St. Cloud. Well, it wouldn't be in St. Cloud. Sartell is applying the pressure, not a great pass, and it's stolen, and then Don Matthias saves the day.
Just control it. Just control it.
Moylan does just that. Templin wants that ball. They're applying pressure. There's no time to sit back. Upsell with the ball. Kicks back out to Moylan. Moylan over to Andrew Haran, to Don Matthias. Got Heinrich on him. He breaks through 2 defenders and gets fouled. Dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, now both teams have 6 fouls, so every foul from now on will result in free throws. So it'll be one-on-ones for any on-the-floor foul for the rest of the game for both teams.
Matthias passes into Andrew Haran, who gets swatted, but not much you can do. You get the ball right there, you get it low, your body posture's low. Takes forever to get up and give the defender a chance. There's 3 guys around him as well, and Dom had to get the ball in. Upsell will throw the ball in this time. He'll find Andrew Haran again, who will hand off to him. Kick out to Don Matthias, who fires a 3, knocks it down. Don Matthias, you are the man tonight. You are absolutely the man. 17 points, and all of them just huge at the right time.
What's surprising to me is he's got a really quick release. He's finding ways tonight with not a whole lot of space to get those shots up pretty quickly. And there's a 7th foul, so Lund will go to the free throw line, stopping the clock. Not exactly what the Storm wanted there, to get their best scorer back on the free throw line. They've held him kind of in check now for the last 6 or 7 minutes. He got off pretty quickly in the second half here, but has slowed down, so hoping that he splits these.
Lund's first attempt is no good on the 1-and-1. There's something on the floor here. Is that going to be number 8 on the Storm? Looks like it is.
Had a huge opportunity there with the defensive rebound when they missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Would have been a huge play to control the ball, but good job by the Sabres to go get an offensive rebound to get another chance.
So Templin with the shot attempt, up and good. He'll get another try. This is Evan Templin, the 6'2 junior. Pretty athletic kid. He's been causing some trouble for Upsall. Boy, a big rebound, and then Don Matthias once again finding the ball, taking it away. Just a playmaker. but it's just a mindset that he has that allows him to win in situations. He loses the ball there, but of course he's scrappy, pokes it to his scrappy cousin, Moylanen. Picks up the ball, he's dribbling all over the place. Wow, just a...
I really love the decision by Eli, kind of after that scramble to try to slow it down. Sartell doubling a lot now. They're calling for doubles on the ball. So can Sauk Rapids now see the double, pass out of it quickly, and find a way to score?
We've got 3:23 left in this ball game. Upsell with the ball, kicks out to Alex Harn. Goes in for a nice little baseline jumper. Might have got away with a little extra foot action. That'll make 9 points on the evening for him. The Storm playing just excellent team basketball. Wow, Andrew Harn gets called for the foul, but he was sky high on that one. Probably a good call. I think he got him on the arm.
Sure. I think the big word right now in my brain that is being disciplined defensively. Just playing sound, not gambling. Again, you get tired late in the game. Legs get a little tired. Can you just play sound? You got 3 minutes where you got to play great defense and rebound the basketball. We don't want to give Sartell, or you don't want to give Sartell, 2 opportunities to shoot on any possession. Make them earn a tough one, and then make sure you rebound your tail off.
Here's Gunderson's second attempt. Goes in. Sartell will press. Alex Harn with the ball into Moylanen. He'll dribble around into trouble. It's going to get called for the travel. Sartell ball. All right, we need to regain our composure here. A defensive stop is the way to do it. 13-point lead. We're just under 3 minutes. The ball is in to Henriks. Templin drives right into Moylanen. It's called for the charge. I agree with the call. I thought it was a great call. He was there, feet set. Templin really had no recourse after he left his feet.
Again, the Storm here getting pressured. You just want to see them release pressure and go. They're kind of playing too much back here and allowing them to trap. You got to make teams pay for pressing. Can they get the ball past this first layer and then run? And now run.
Into Matthias, runs into a wall, gets rid of it, and here we go. Upsell now with an easy pass to Andrew Harn under the hoop. No shot.
Control.
Out to Matthias.
Nice.
Burning up some valuable minutes. Moylanen on Heinrichs. Kicks out to Andrew Harn. Dribbles around, hands off.
Yes, terrible spot.
Good timeout by Coach Peterson. This guy was trapped. He's asking for a call there. He said, hey, they're elbowing my guys. Pretty good defensive effort. 2:35 left to play, and the Storm are not at all enjoying a 13-point lead.
No.
It is a closer game than it appears right now. That said, favoring the Storm, obviously, it's not a whole lot of time. Buckets can rack up rather quickly, especially when you have firepower like Sartell does.
Yep. I think one of the players right now that's giving the Storm a lot of problems is Austin Heinrichs, who hasn't scored offensively, but really in the game to be a defensive pest. He kind of is the Dom Matthias and a little bit of Mason. So they're putting him on Ethan at times, and he's the guy doubling. So he's the guy kind of causing a lot of chaos for the Storm. He's creating those turnovers, and if it's not him getting it, he's the one causing the pressure. So the Storm are going to have to find a way to handle him. He's another 5'8", 5'9" kid, but these kids are athletic and find ways to get to the ball. So Sartell, good job of ramping up the pressure. Sauk Rapids, you see them release, kind of get past the first layer. You would have loved to see them score in a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-1 there, but not a terrible idea to pull it out and try to grind clock, but then they find their way back to half court and give themselves a trap. So both teams right now have 2 timeouts left with 2.5 minutes left. You want to be able to have, you want to save those timeouts. You really don't want to have to call them in traps for the rest of this until we get maybe under a minute. So big possession here. Can the Storm score is first. 2 is, can we do it and take a little bit of time? Again, we go right in the corner again, asking for a double team.
Ball is in. Moylanen handling it. Matthias now handling it. Upsell sets a screen. Over to Andrew Harn. He's going to get 2 guys on him. There he's going to get fouled.
Yeah, my gut tells me when they're doubling to not go set screens for the ball. We're kind of asking for doubles and putting ourselves in tough spots. They got to find more spacing, and if the double comes, then just pass to the open guy. But instead, they're getting so compressed offensively that there's not a whole lot of passes to go to anywhere because one guy can defend so many people for Sartell. Big free throws here. This game's going to come down to can Sauk Rapids put it away by knocking out a couple free throws.
So Andrew Harn will have the first attempt right here on the 1-and-1. Off the back of the rim, doesn't get the bounce. Sartell ball. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. 13-point lead by the Storm. Gus Gunderson with the ball. He finds Templin. Templin pulls up for a three. It'd be a big one, and it is. Knocks the lead down to 12. The pressure's on, but Alex Harn has the ball, passes up to Ethan Upsall. Smartly burns clock. Back to Alex Harn. He's got 2 on him. They're close to the line. He gets it stole. And a giant foul by Harn. Didn't want to give up the easy bucket. At the same time, we're at 10.
The other thing the Storm have to do is, our first answer can't be dribble the basketball. Hold it with 2 hands so you've got 2 options. They're dribbling away and asking for doubles. Instead of just dribbling, catch the ball, stand strong, and pass.
Templin gets 2 shots. First one does not fall. Alex Harn out and Andrew Kopp.
Yes, on this side.
Templin with the second shot off the back of the rim, all the way up to the top of the glass and in. Moylan will get triple teamed. Called for. Got a timeout called by coach. Timeout called. I don't know what Sartell is complaining about. It was, in my opinion, a timeout, or they get called for a foul.
Hard to hear there where the timeout was called, so again, I think you can hear Coach Peterson. The timeout actually gets called by the ref standing right next to Sauk Rapids' bench who blows the whistle and makes sure that it gets heard. So Coach Peterson again trying to scream over the crowd. Sauk Rapids still throwing the ball into the corners, asking for these doubles. So there's people open. They got to find a way to catch the ball on the top of the key on the first pass where it's not trappable.
So in transition here, when you break the press, you maybe answer this question for me. You know, you got a 13-point lead. You go down, you try to burn some clock. Now that the lead is at 9 points, is it still burn the clock? I mean, 9 point is, that can be gone in 3 shots.
Yeah,
Take the shot if it's there.
I think the answer might be right now just to go to the rim and try to finish strong and make them foul you. Instead of this, we're getting a little bit too cute because we're not burning a ton of time because they're doubling so fast. So I would encourage our guys to probably here just try to go finish at the rim, try to get another basket or make them foul.
Well, we'll see if Coach Peterson agrees. Storm players come out to the court. You've got Andrew Kapp, Ethan Upsall, Dom Mathias, Andrew Harn, and Eli Moylanen. The whole gang pitching in tonight. Going 4 deep on the bench, 9 guys in play for the Storm tonight total. Kapp will throw the ball in. He gets it into Moylanen, who gets double teamed. Gets called for the travel. Really physical play. Feel bad for the ref. I don't know how you make a call in that situation. It could really go either way. So we'll accept it. Game will continue. There's a minute 47 left. The Storm are still up by 9. Clark with the ball. Over to Gunderson, who will drive the paint. Get fouled. Does not drop. He'll get 2 at the line.
A little surprised here. The Storm are kind of overextending themselves, trying to pressure guys on, and they're just giving them lanes. You can play off here and make them work offense. We're giving them opportunities to score fast right now offensively. The other thing to think about is again, Eli's a great ball handler, but he's short. It's difficult for him to see over a double team, so we're entering it to a guy who can't see over the double. It'd be interesting if they can maybe enter the ball to a guy like Andrew Harn or Ethan Upsall and let them make decisions because they can see over the double team.
So the first shot by Gunderson is good. He's got 12. Second one is up and in. Andrew Koth will be throwing the ball in here for the Storm. Everybody in the game a pretty good ball handler. Kath having trouble. Not a bad result for the Storm. Some clock gets burned. They get another try at it. Gets knocked out of bounds by Sartell. Hartwig on Upsall. He's open
good.
Deep. Andrew Harn gets the ball. That's
a foul.
He's
trying to foul.
Unbelievably fouled and no call. Mathias will bring the ball up, kick it out to Moylanen, who will hold. I agree with that. Dribbling, he's now lost his dribble. Throws it over to Andrew, over to Ethan. And there's a foul. They had to stop the clock. Just time is becoming the big factor here. 1:22 left in the game.
Yep.
It's only a 7-point game.
And still just a 1-on-1, so only one shot guaranteed to him here.
Big shots for the sophomore, Andrew Haran. First one is in, and it is a big bucket.
That's it. That's the biggest shot of the game right now. And if he can make this one and make it a 9-point game, that's even bigger. Free throws, every single one is so important.
It's up and it's in.
Gutsy.
Big smile on our faces. We love the kid. We love all these kids. Spend a lot of time with them, and it's nice to see their hard work pay off. Gunderson with
It's a good move.
nice move, nice finish. And he's late on the defensive
good.
front. He'll come down and foul. Moylanen gets fouled. Gunderson's at 15 points.
The advantage there for the Storm was they got the ball in so fast. Again, I'm a little bit confused as to why they're pressuring so far out front and letting Gunderson blow by and get to the rim. Let's make this guy work a little bit. That doesn't mean give him a wide open three-pointer, but it doesn't mean we have to guard him in half court. But the huge advantage, they got the ball in before the press got set.
First attempt is up and out. Does not fall for Moylanen. This would be a big one. Ball is up, and this one falls. Absolutely huge. Now smart defense here.
Make him earn it.
Shot, make him earn it. Move your feet, get your hands up, take away passing lanes. Moylanen on Gunderson. Ball goes into Mason. He takes the baseline. Haran sends him packing. And underneath the hoop was Logan Clark, who gets the rebound and finishes. Time off the clock. It's 50.9 seconds left to play. The Storm have a 6-point lead and the ball.
It's going to take some time here again. This is a lot of basketball. 50 seconds when you can foul and score fast. Again, I think where the Storm are going to burn the most time are actually when they're on defense. They're going to get fouled fast. They're not going to burn time offensively. They have to make Sartell work. They're scoring too fast. They're getting to the rim at 8 or 9 seconds into a possession. They've got to force Sartell to make 3, 4, 5 passes before they get to their first shot. But they're just struggling to do it. Again, you don't want to give up threes. You'll trade free throws for twos, but they're just letting them get to the rim so quickly that it's putting a lot more pressure on your free throw shooters to make both of their shots.
So the story of the evening is that Sartell's game plan was to shut down Ethan Upsall, and that was successful. What they didn't expect was by doing that, you're leaving these guards from Sauk Rapids, players like Jace Walrath and Carter Lesh stepping up, Andrew Haran stepping up, and we've got a ball game on our hands. It just, going into the playoffs, knowing that you can win without your big guys scoring the majority of your points, this could be a real catapult should they make it through tonight. First, we got 50.9 seconds left to finish before we think about that.
And I like this decision. They move Eli back. They move Ethan kind of into the front court. We'll see if they try to release the ball deep. They might be throwing the ball deep here on the inbounds.
Into Andrew Haran, back to Alex Haran. He's going to throw it up to Ethan Upsall. He's got
Take a layup.
Man wide open. Don Mathias puts it away. Those are big points. It's only an 8-point lead. We've got just under 40 seconds left to play. Gus Gunderson will pull up for 3. It's looking like it has a chance. It goes in the hands of Alex Haran. A steal by Gunderson. A heady move. He's got 2 points. Get that ball in. Haran to Moylanen. Moylanen into Upsall. Upsall up cross court to Andrew Haran. Haran to his brother in the corner. Back to Upsall. And fouled. That was a lot of time off the clock. We've got a 6-point game here. 16.6 seconds, and Ethan Upsall's at the line.
Yeah, the advantage here is, Ethan's just got to make one. If you can get into a 3-possession game, then you don't foul. And then if Sartell makes the basket, you got to assume they'll call a timeout and try to set up the press. But you don't want to inbound it too fast so you can burn 5 seconds. This game is, again, a free throw here probably seals it.
And what a beautiful shot. His 5th point of the night and maybe his favorite bucket of all time.
For sure.
He'll set up for his 2nd.
Just can't foul. Just can't foul.
So Gunderson looks for Templin in the corner, who pump fakes, gets Andrew to commit in the air, and then causes a foul. So now Templin will shoot. 7-point ball game right now. These 2 points are huge. Bring it to 5. There is 9 seconds, 9.1 seconds left to play.
You got to believe here they're going to try to make the first and miss the second.
Ooh, that was...
Yeah, no doubt here. He's got to try to miss this shot. Would like for Eli, who's at the half court here, to get to the free throw line and try to box out the shooter or help. You need everybody. This is not going to be an attempted make.
The Harn brothers down low need a big rebound. Now Ethan Upsall gets a hand in there. Templin gets the rebound. He gets it tipped. Don Mathias just throws the ball away to burn some clock. The clock will tick all the way down to zeros. And tonight it was the Storm who had enough at the end. 59-52. Another barn burner of a game against a very good Sartell team, the 2 and 3 seed, rightfully so, as it turns out. Every game we cover, I tell you, that Storm team's going to walk over now. Little pep talk by the coach. They've earned a chance to sing the school song and play in the section champion. Came down to guard play tonight. Both teams had guards that absolutely showed up. Guards for Sartell putting up 29. The guards for Sauk Rapids putting up 31. That is just, those are big numbers for Dom and Eli. 19 and 12. Ethan Upsall only putting 5 in. That last bucket he put in was a huge bucket, but he demanded the attention from Sartell so much so that it put his buddies in an opportunity, his teammates in an opportunity to show up and do their thing, and they did just that. A team victory and probably a scouting nightmare for whoever wins between Apollo and Alexandria, because the formula that's supposed to work to beat Sauk Rapids didn't work tonight.
Yeah, and I think so much of that too, because I wouldn't necessarily argue that their defensive plan wasn't great. I think a lot of the credit goes to Sauk Rapids playing some really, really good defense. And some of the special stuff was there. Even when they turned the ball over, their transition defense, hustling back, kind of earning steals and not giving up easy layups. So to hold Sartell, which is a really good offense, to 52, 56 offensively doesn't feel like the best they can do, but you had some guys step up that got you there. So again, the Storm kind of hung their hat this year on scrappy and playing really tough defense, and they did that tonight. They made it difficult for Sartell to score. One of the things that I was really impressed with was the first time they played, Evan Clark had a bunch of buckets because they were getting penetration and then giving kind of layups off to their big guys. Tonight they didn't get beat so much on the dribble, especially in the second half. They forced Sartell to score around the outside, and Lund had some buckets, but he definitely had to work, just like Ethan did. So kind of the two guys that are the guys who expect to score definitely had to earn their buckets tonight. And the big story really, I think, is probably Don Mathias hitting some really big threes and hitting several. I think he must have had 5 there in the game. And fun to see that kid have joy and kind of celebrate all those and then play such great defense. So, again, if I'm calling for a player of the game, I think Dom stepping up, hitting some big threes, playing some outstanding defense for a guy his size was a huge story. And then their offensive rebounding, and then kind of, again, I thought they did a great job rebounding on both sides of the court. I think that if you went back and you looked at the stat line, I would assume that they had many more shot attempts solely because they rebounded the ball better.
Yeah, and that's been a piece against some of these other teams that hasn't been there as much as you'd hope for the Storm. It was there tonight. They come out, they're victorious. Keep your eyes on the basketball game that's happening in Alexandria. What do we have for us? It looks like we're about halfway through that game, not quite.
Looks like we're just before halftime. Alexandria right now 26-21 over Apollo. Again, we'll play the winner of that game Friday night. If Apollo were to win, it would be hosted here in Sauk Rapids Rice. If Alexandria wins, that game would be in Alex on Friday. So a fun ride and cool for our team to have another chance to play for a state championship or for a state entrance. It's been a cool week for Sauk Rapids Rice athletics with a boy in the diving state tournament. We sent Cole Ackerman this week to a wrestling state tournament, a couple other guys who were top 16 and top 12 kids in wrestling. Our first gymnast goes to state in 11 years on the beam. So a lot of really impressive things happening for Storm athletics. A really good group of kids right now in our high school. So it would be awesome to send another team. So Friday night, I'm sure we'll be rocking. This gym was crazy for a semifinal game. Excited to feel what a Friday night section championship game could feel like.
And keep in contact with the kiddos that you know that play for the Storm to see if we will be bringing our show on the road or if it's home. Obviously, we'll be here. The potential for that is there. We don't have final word on that. If we're not, and we'd be traveling to Alexandria, if that's the case, then you could check out their YouTube feed. They have a live feed. They'd be talking about all the kids that you don't probably care about as much, but you'd still get a piece of the action from the comfortable couch in your living room, and that's better than nothing. So I tell you what, folks, we've had an absolute pleasure tonight. The Storm come out on top. Our guys are playing good basketball right now. We'll see who they face next, and hopefully we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you then.